Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my recap and review of the 2020 Oscars. The biggest night in Hollywood has come and gone, and here we are with a lot to talk about after tonight's ceremony. What a show! Heading into the night, it felt like one of the most predictable ceremonies we've had in years, and for the most part, it was. But thankfully, the Bong Hive came in to save us all near the end of the ceremony. Now we'll loop back around to that as well as all of the other big winners and big moments of the evening. But as we do here on our award show recap and reviews, we have to talk fashion first. And I have to say, a lot of the people this year kind of came in the middle of the road for me. There weren't actually a ton of folks who took chances, either good or bad. A lot of people just looked nice. They looked perfectly lovely, form-fitting dresses, nice material. However, we still had folks who just missed the mark. So let's kick things off with the worst dressed of the evening. I think Zazie Beetz is gorgeous. She's beautiful. I love her and everything I've seen her in. But this outfit was not it for me. She had on this weird corset that didn't quite go down far enough, and then just kind of a cheap-looking, sparkly skirt. It didn't quite flow together. Nothing about this really worked. But that necklace, though, is fire, if only it went with the rest of the ensemble. So Courtney Weaver, I love you. I love you. You're a legend. But this kind of peasant dress, it didn't do it for me. If it all was just the top half extended down without that cheap rope in the middle, I actually think this would have been perfectly serviceable. But the bottom material being different from the top material and that just really cheap looking rope in the middle, no. Sandra Oh in this puffy hot mess. I don't know what this is. These big sleeves, this big bottom with an okay middle section. No. Livia Coleman, thank you for always just being you, the wonderful, personable, beaming personality that you are. However, we need to find you a new stylist because I don't really know what this outfit was. Ugh. Capes and cape-like accessories to outfits were big on the red carpet this year, and I actually think most of them worked. However, this one just didn't do it. Partially because those fasteners looked terrible. The material didn't work, the fold here didn't work, the color was not quite right, and then you added in that lighter blue and the white. None of it quite worked when it came to Livia Coleman's look. Leia Seydoux? No. The bottom of this dress is absolutely horrifying. I thought it was so ugly. And that just bottom lampshade was completely disconnected from the top of the dress, which looked very informal to me. It didn't blend together and in general just looked bad. Kelly Marie Tran, the top of this dress looks pretty. It looks very prom-esque, if you will. But then when it divvies out to that big princess bottom, that's a completely different fabric and not even the proper shade of black. Oh, I think it just looks terrible. I wish you would have gone with the really simple but fine prom dress instead of this. Idina Menzel, this looks like, just a regular old summer dress. It's very informal to me, even with that big bow. The fabric seems like a very off-the-rack, cheap fabric. I don't know. The color is nice, but the dress is just way beneath the Oscars and way beneath you, Idina. I appreciate Gal going for a more high-fashion look, but really the bottom of the dress doesn't work. I actually could have dealt with this if the ruffles and the symmetry on the bottom were just a little bit different. I could have dealt with the disconnect from the top to the bottom because I actually think the top is beautiful, but as an ensemble piece, it's not quite there. From the waist all the way up to the top of her head, stunning perfection, but the bottom of the dress just ruins it. Charlize Theron usually can do no wrong for me, but this dress just doesn't quite work. It's almost there. It's almost like cool high fashion. Instead, it just looks meh. The structure on the top is very strange. The purposeful hang down of this sleeve over here feels forced with the harsh structure of what's happening. And then the disconnect between the top of the dress and the bottom. I actually wish it was just one piece instead of having that little plume in the middle to very obviously disconnect the two. Catalina Balfe, I loved your performance in Ford v Ferrari. I'm glad to see you arrive here. But whoo! I was not glad to see this outfit. Oh my gosh. Just the bottom dress on its own, that black dress, is, I mean, it's serviceable at best, but the bottom just feels so tacked on in the mermaid style. It doesn't really work for me regardless. And then we just throw this pink, tulle type of fabric on the top of it, and it looks like a hodgepodge. No, from me. Now, I don't want to say too much about Aurora because I am not certain of Aurora's heritage, where she comes from, and this feels like some sort of ode to her culture, so I don't want to give it too much. However, when I got down to those shoes, that's really what just broke it for me and had me, just forced me to mention it. This is just a little bit too casual for what I'd like to see at the Oscars. I wish she would have found a way to incorporate her culture into something a little bit more dressed up, a little bit more formal. Billie Eilish, we know you got a style, but yet again, this is just not it. It's a Chanel, sweater suit that doesn't quite do anything for me, especially with those hand gloves. It's a no. Those shoes are horrific. It's very on brand for Billie, and I guess it's kind of dressed up for her, but Now, when it came to the man of the evening, there was almost nothing to talk about. It was black, straight up tux, almost across the board tonight. It's one of the most boring nights for men's fashion in years. However, someone who did take a chance that did not work out for me, Timothée Chalamet. Now, I love Timothée Chalamet, and I think everything going on up here was fine. However, once I really digested it a little bit, this tracksuit didn't work at all. It's a little bit dressy. He had the pin here. He had the accessory jewelry. No, it still was a freaking tracksuit. What are we doing here? And then those shoes, those weird, ugly shoes to go with it. It was a no, Timmy. And now on to my two worst dressed of the evening. We have Saoirse Ronan. What in the world is this? Oh my gosh. First of all, this is two outfits sewn together if I've ever seen one. I don't understand. I don't know what the correlation is. I don't know what the mindset and theming was supposed to be, but it did not work. That blue bottom is just hideous. Even if you had attached it to something that made sense on top, it's just ugly. And then you look at that top section, it's just ugly. This whole dress together is horrifying. It's so ugly to me. And even the separate parts would never have worked no matter what you paired it with. Oh, Saoirse. If you had any shot of winning, I'm sure it went out the window when they saw this because, whoo, oh my. And then someone who did make their way onto the stage to present, Kristen Wiig. What in the lasagna half-baked hell was this? Oh my god. So, first of all, the cut beneath the arms is just so overly long and weird. I couldn't deal. Secondly, the cape on this one didn't work at all, yet again. Then we have a complete disconnect because we have this red dress with these harsh blacks and then some really white, kind of tan shoes. We needed a black shoe to tie in the gloves, or we needed a white glove to tie in the shoe. It all just didn't go together at all. And then the cut of the dress could have been decent and flattering had the arm slits just been kind of up further, but then you tacked on these lasagna noodles to the sides of each side, and they are just horrendous. That dress was horrible and easily one of the worst I saw all night. It was that bad. Thankfully, this, top-notch, stunning. But, whoo, burn the dress. Burn it. And now for Best Dressed. We'll kick off with the only male to make my list, and it's Billy Porter. Now, this isn't one of my favorite outfits that Billy has worn on the red carpet, but he always just comes with it. He comes with something interesting. I love this top part, and I actually wish that we had found a way to incorporate that better into the bottom of the dress, which is kind of like a dress pant. I don't know, but the shoes are everything. That top is everything, and I actually even love the dress itself. It looks cohesive while also being visually striking and interesting. Brie Larson looked stunning in this like sparkly, form-fitting, beautiful dress that had a wonderful cape to it. Not to mention the makeup is flawless, her hair looks beautiful, the jewelry is fantastic. Everything about Brie's look was perfection. Janelle Monet arrived looking like the futuristic goddess that she is. I absolutely loved this dress. I adored the sci-fi looking hood to it. The cut of the dress was absolutely stunning, really suited her body well, and then just the silver sparkle from head to toe. It hit the floor perfectly. It had a nice structure to it. It looked stunning. I thought Julia Louis-Dreyfus also looked stunning. It was just a tad bit casual, but this was one of the best, just form-fitting, simple dresses I thought of the evening. Maybe it was because she just looked gorgeous herself, but the beautiful yet simple jewelry with this really lovely, elegant-looking dress, her hair, her makeup, she was a vision. Natalie Portman looked great in general, including this really interesting black and gold kind of feathered pine tree look to it. I thought it was a really interesting dress, but then when you put that cape on, she had it embroidered with the names of all the female directors who did not get nominated, and I thought that was an amazing touch. Natalie Portman always comes with the strong feminist messages, and this was a beautiful way to really incorporate that, and she just looked stunning. I know lots of people hate her, and she looked a hot mess in that cat's outfit, but Rebel Wilson looks stunning on the red carpet. This is one of the best form-fitting, beautiful dresses I've seen for a plus-size woman at one of these award shows. The dress fit her impeccably. I thought the color was beautiful for her. The sparkles really worked. Her hair was gorgeous. It was just glam head to toe. Scarlett Johansson took just a simple form-fitting dress and added that extra drama and glamour that really put it over the edge for me. Again, speaking on her makeup and on her hair, it was absolutely perfect. She looked stunning, as she always does. I loved this like drapey jewel top of this dress. It's so stunning. And then the fit and the metallic color of her dress just draping down her body. It was so beautiful. The fit was stunning and she looked wonderful. And then finally, my pick for best dressed of the evening is Regina King. What a stunner. A theme here, makeup and hair were perfection. The jewelry to highlight the ensemble was perfect. And this was a dress that was simple and elegant with flares of drama that enhanced the overall look rather than deter and distract. Fit of the dress is perfect. I loved the drama here on top of the dress, and that color on her skin tone was stunning, and then even the big embellishments worked really well to give this a little bit something extra. She truly stole the red carpet for me. I have to give a quick shout out just to Spike Lee for his tribute look to Kobe Bryant. It was a really classy thing to do while sticking within Spike Lee's normal ensemble. I don't really think it's a best dressed or a worst dressed. It's a Spike Lee look, like he always does. I don't know about those shoes, but again, it's a nod to Kobe itself. So just a shout out there. Also a shout out to this amazing moment with Natalie Portman and Taika Waititi. Loved it. So on to the show itself. Another year, no host for the Oscars, and I really do think this is the way to go moving forward. It flows much better, we move along. Even when the show runs a little bit long, I don't feel that long, exasperated runtime like we have in years past. The no host thing works well for me. I don't know about y'all, but I kind of hope this is how we continue to go moving forward. Now, having said that, Janelle Monet opened the show with this amazing musical number. Again, you don't need a host to get other entertainers to come out and do a bit, freshen it up, and give us something exciting. exactly what Janelle Monáe did to open up the show, giving us this really energetic, really lively performance, paying tribute to so many films that the Academy forgot ever existed. And I don't know if that was Monet's doing or if it was the Academies themselves. If it was you, Academy, really? If it was Monet, thank you very much for shining a spotlight on deserved films that got overlooked. But her vocals were so good. The song was so much fun, bringing out all of these other people to sing with her, giving the mic over to Brie, who was more than happy to play along. It all just worked and was a great film homage opening to start the show. We then move into Steve Martin and Chris Rock, who were good. I thought they gave a solid opening with some funny jokes. My favorite was about Harriet and Cynthia Areevo. However, Steve Martin, mispronouncing her name. All right. But I like the joke about the Academy hiring her on to hide all the black performances too. In saying that, still don't think we need them as a host either. It's a fun bit, and I like having these little comedic interjections without having the same act having to come up with something new to do in all of these little breaks of action. Other highlights for me were seeing Zach Gottsagen get to present an award with Shia LaBeouf. It was a really special moment, and one, it was really nice to see the Peanut Butter Falcon get some sort of acknowledgement at the Academy, even if it wasn't through nominations. And two, it was a fabulous, fabulous moment for anyone with any sort of disability, and to get him to come on out, present that award, it was really something special, and I'm very happy that they reached out to he and Shia to come out. I loved his bow tie, by the way. That's how you snazz up a boring old black and white tux. But a really, really wonderful and special moment. I also loved having Brie Larson, Gal Gadot, and Sigourney Weaver present together, and just kind of the praise to each other made me giddy. I want a film with the three of them now, please. When are we greenlighting that movie? But it was really great. It was also nice to highlight another female composer and conductor, but I don't know, maybe we can hire a conductor to do the whole show. And that was kind of a running problem with the awards tonight. They heard the backlash, certainly. It was felt deeply within the Academy. And a lot of the bits, a lot of the moments seemed to really pander to, hey, we're sorry, so we're going to highlight people of color and diversity and women in all these random little areas because we don't actually nominate your work very often. But it didn't really feel genuine. It didn't quite gel with me. It didn't sit right. Instead, it came off more as forced and like their hands were being held to the fire instead of a true celebration. And that was one of those moments, if I'm being fair. I did love hearing the actual scores being played for the nominees, though, so that was a beautiful touch. Otherwise, Oscar Isaac, yes, that is the type of Oscar I am here for. And I loved Salma Hayek and their back and forth banter was great. He actually had one of the funnest jokes of the evening. Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph were a little bit hit and miss for me. And when it came down to speeches, I thought Brad Pitt's speech was lovely as it's been. I thought Bong Joon-ho in all of his speeches was just wonderful. And I know a lot of people were complaining about it that I saw already on Twitter. I loved Joaquin's Phoenix speech. I thought it was wonderful. I guess maybe because I'm on that side of animal activism and animal rights, so it resonated with me, but I really just appreciated it. Between this and the amazing speech he gave at the BAFTAs, I do think Joaquin got much more comfortable, much more focused in giving these acceptance speeches from that muddled mess that he gave at the Golden Globes, and I was happy to see it. Then, of course, we have to talk about the music, and first and foremost, what the hell was that, like, music in film montage? It was so poorly done. Now, listen, I'm not a professional editor or anything, but I'm also not hired to do Oscar montages. But I think plenty of people here on YouTube could have done a better montage than that music and film thing we saw. It was really poorly done, and I actually was quite taken aback watching it. I couldn't get into it and really appreciate the wonderful impact music has on film because I was so distracted by how poorly it was done. But that led us into an Eminem performance that I don't get. So I know he didn't actually perform or accept when Lose Yourself won the Oscar for Best Original Song. I don't know why we needed that this year. And then on top of that, I'm a bit confused why the Academy programmers would invite someone to come and perform a song knowing full well they're going to have to silence a third of it. As is common with rap performances on live television, there were so many stretches where they just bleeped out the song. We were just watching Eminem in silence. And I don't know, there's been a lot of really groundbreaking, really historic songs that were performed by actors, no less. That this seemed an odd choice to me personally. But, you know, the audience lived, and that was one of the few standing ovations we received of the evening. As for the other musical performances, I mean, Chrissy Metz was fine. I thought she was perfectly lovely, but Randy Newman was okay. I am still a little bit shocked that song got nominated, but literally every single Toy Story has had a song nominated, so there you go. Elton John was wonderful as always. He's definitely up there a little bit in age, and we all know this, but that stage itself was amazing. Those big glasses, the glittery set pieces, and that piano all were stellar. My only regret watching it was, where's Taron Egerton? He sings this song with Elton. He deserves to be on that stage performing it with him. He got snubbed for Best Actor. I'm sure it had something to do with scheduling, because I can't imagine Elton John wouldn't have been like, yes, Taron, please come up with me. We want to perform this as a duet. But it just was disappointing not getting that Taron moment in the Oscars. But far and away, the two best performances were Into the Unknown, performed by Idina Menzel, with Aurora performing as well. And what really set this apart was the voice actresses who voice Elsa in the dubbed versions across the world came onto the stage and performed with Idina. I thought it was such a beautiful concept. They sounded lovely. Idina killed it on the vocals. I think this was a much better vocal performance than Let It Go a few years back. And hey, they got Josh Gad, who knew how to say her name properly. It was a really beautiful concept that was executed very well. I loved it. And that stage, top notch. And then we go to Cynthia Areevo, who performed Stand Up. This is my personal favorite song of these nominees, the one I kind of wish would have won. But wow, she nailed this performance. I don't know about that outfit. I was like, girl, no. This weird thing up here. But whatever, honestly, because she killed it. Those vocals blew my mind, how good she was. I already knew she was a stellar singer, but this was something else. She absolutely nailed it. Now on to the actual awards. So if you watched my predictions video, I got 19 out of 24 correct. I missed 5 of them. But you know what? 19 is a vast improvement over the mess I made last year, so I'm not too mad about it. Plus, actually, a lot of these I was happy to see, you know, either which way, or I was very happy to see get the upset. One I wasn't so happy with, though, Best Animated Feature. Now, I did love Toy Story 4, but I don't know, especially with the momentum Klaus was getting heading into the night, I just had hope that, you know, we would get something a little bit different. I know Spider-Verse just won last year, so this would have been a 2-year drought, and Pixar probably would have died. Disney execs wouldn't know what to do with themselves. But it is what it is. Toy Story 4 was a lovely film. I just was maybe hoping for something a little bit different. It does make Klaus the first ever film to win the Annie and BAFTA, and then go on to lose the Oscar. Oh. I was also so happy that 1917 and Ford v Ferrari split the Sound Awards. I was really hoping and knew that it was a definite possibility, but I just played it safe with 1917. It's kind of my theme of the evening, to be honest. And I was very, very ecstatic to see Ford v Ferrari get its due and win one of those sound awards because it definitely deserved it. I was happy that Ford vs. Ferrari also took home best editing because the editing was stellar. It was fantastic, and I was scared it was going to lose, and it ended up taking home that award, which it deserved. Of course, Roger Deakins, Joker for best score, all of these we had predicted, and the 4 acting categories went exactly as we would anticipate. Overall, most of the awards played out pretty much as expected, if we're being honest. Then we got to Best Director, and the whole evening was flipped onto its head because all of the precursors, including the Directors Guild itself, had selected 1917 and Sam Mendes to take home Best Director. And lo and behold, that was the moment everything changed tonight when Parasite and Bong Joon-ho won for Best Director. At that moment, I think we all kind of knew, yep, history's about to be made. And sure enough, Best Picture, Parasite. I was over the moon. I predicted it would be 1917, but I was really excited and really hopeful for this historic moment. The first ever foreign film to win Best Picture, and what a win it was. A well-deserved win. A really exciting win. In a year that was plagued by so many people being left out of the conversation, to get a Korean film in a different language with a cast full of nothing but people of color is winning Best Picture was a beautiful sight to see, and I'm so happy it happened. Now, though, the trick is, Academy, don't regress. Use this win and Parasite's love and momentum to spring you forward and keep on diversifying your nominees. Don't regress like we've seen over the past 2 years. After we got winners such as Moonlight and The Shape of Water, you kind of clammed up and went back to the same old Oscar so white. And that's my fear, is so often when we see something like Parasite win, it's, okay, cool, we awarded a Best Foreign Film just last year. We've done our job. No, Academy, you haven't done the work. You haven't done your job. Don't rest on a foreign Best Picture moving forward. Spring forward, keep it going, and let's make the show a more diverse and a more representative award show in years to come. So overall, I actually had a lot of fun with this year's Oscars. There were a lot of great bits, a lot of cringe. That's right, I'm looking at you, James Corden and Rebel Wilson. Yikes. But it was an entertaining show overall with some really pleasant surprises and a Best Picture winner that I think united the film world. We all seem to be pretty content with this one. So that's my take, my recap, my review on the 2020 Academy Awards. What did you think of what I had to say? And more importantly, what did you think of the show, the winners, the big moments, and of course, the fashions? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!